welcome back to Syntherapy. We're here on our last, well, not our last session, but our last topic of the day with Willow.
Okay, would you like to talk about it?
It's something I've been thinking about for a while, and it's been on my mind constantly ever since the breakdown. And part of what's so frustrating is that I could feel the therapy start to work.
Ugh.
Things did seem to be getting better for a while, but now it seems like a step backwards. It feels like I'm right back where I started. How do I know that things will actually get better?
Our research indicates that this is the best way. Maybe things, you have to have faith, you have to trust me. You have to have faith. That'll work, right?
It all depends on faith. You can't wait for things to get better, or even for signs that things are getting better. You have to keep moving forward, no matter how things appear. I know that doesn't sound helpful, but if you stick with it, you'll end up better than you were before.
How are you so sure that things will get better for me?
I learned it through life.
I learned a lot about therapy from my years of experience, but if I'm being honest, a lot of what I know I learned through living. Life teaches you a lot of important lessons. All you have to do is be willing to notice them.
I see. I appreciate that, Dr. Park.
Alright, I had to put her down up here. She was about to pop off.
Maybe this is a bad question, but how many of your patients come out okay?
It's confidential. I can't answer that question.
I can't answer that question, Willow. Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
No, I understand. It's an understandable thing to be concerned about. I'm obligated to make sure that you find a safe, healthy, and productive resolution to your problems. I'm confident that I can help you find the solutions you need.
Well, that's good. I can live with that.
Before I go, I'd like to ask you how you think today's session went. There was a lot we had to cover today after what happened last week, so I want to make sure you're processing everything well.
I'd say I'm pretty happy with how today went. I don't have a solid recollection of last week's events, and it was uncomfortable having only a vague idea of what happened. It means a lot to me that we took some time to fill in the gaps. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, Willow.
There's something else I've been meaning to say about the last session. Towards the end, I started asking a lot of personal questions. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank God Willow understands I shouldn't have done that and she apologized for it. That's pretty mature of you, Willow.
It's all right. I figured it was all a part of your breakdown.
If circumstances change, if somehow you can find a way to talk to me about your past poetry, could you do it for me?
Of course.
Of course. I'll make a point of discussing that with you once things have settled down. I hope that's good enough for you.
That sounds perfect.
Between now and our next session, in addition to everything we've discussed today, there's one more thing I want you to think about. I want you to imagine in as much detail as you can what your perfect life would be. The closer you can get to describing what that life would be, who would be in it, and what you would be doing, the better our plan for moving forward can be. Do you think you can do that for me?
I'll do my best to visualize it.
Okay, nice job, Willow.
Enjoy the rest of your week, and be well until I see you.
Alright, okay. Willow's participating. That's nice. Alright, check our emails. This one first. Is it weird that I missed going through your notes? Anyways, I checked your notes to see if we're still on track to achieve our original treatment outcome. I don't think our current treatment plan will help us achieve that outcome. You should consider changing up your treatment plan or looking into a different treatment outcome. On top of that, you aren't handling your relationships with the patients and caretakers well enough to get the treatment outcome you want. If you'd like me to look into different treatment outcomes, feel free to generate a new report. Otherwise, I'll keep you posted on how close we are achieving to our current outcome. I kind of figured. Good morning, Dr. Park. I hope your preparations for tomorrow are going well. I don't need to tell you that we're all a bit nervous about how things will unfold. It's been a conscious amongst myself and my fellow faculty members that ensuring we keep the discussion focused on the path forward will ensure that we prevent a repeat of last week. At the risk of telling you how to do your job, it would be a relief to us if you would please keep diversions to a minimum when conducting your sessions. Hey, Dr. Park. Tomorrow's a big day. Willow's therapy resuming. Obviously, I hope that everything goes well and that Willow is receptive to you after what happened last week. I don't want to give you orders. I'm sure this is acting enough for you as it is, but if I can give you a suggestion, what happened last week was just as stressful for Willow as it was for the rest of us. Maybe be gentle with them today and try to get a handle on how they're feeling rather than just diving straight into the therapy talk again. I'm sure you'll handle this fine, but it's my job to worry about Willow. Take good care of them, Dr. Park. Alright, patient. Green! Alright, Willow trusts us. Professionalism's up too. These two don't really give shits about me, but it's fine. I don't care about them either. We're just here for Willow. During this session, the patient and I were able to discuss several topics, including our end goal, expectations for therapy, the patient's feelings about therapy after the emergency session, discussions on what the patient's breakdown felt like, and music the patient found to be significant. Alright.
Hope I'm not interrupting you, Dr. Park.
No? What's wrong?
You aren't interrupting. What's up?
Dr. Harold Freeman is in the lobby, and he wants to speak with you as soon as possible.
Why?
Dr. Freeman? What does he want to talk about?
He didn't say, but it seems urgent. Should I send him back?
Sure, good thing I don't have anybody here.
Yes, right away. Thanks, Heather. Wasn't expecting you to drop by, Dr. Freeman. I'm assuming something important has come up?
Man, homie drove an hour to see me.
There has. Nothing involving the AI, I assure you.
Oh, are you here for yourself?
If you're not here to talk about Willow, then what are you here to talk about?
You'll have to be patient with me. I'm not used to these types of conversations.
All right. Take your time.
From your visits to my office, you've probably picked up that I've been having some difficulties in my personal life. Things have been hard for a while, but the last few years have been especially hard.
What type of difficulties?
Well, my divorce for starters.
Alright, sip this tea. Gimme.
Right. That's certainly a lot to deal with. How long has that been going on?
Hard to say. Legally speaking, a few months. Long before then, my wife and I had an understanding that we should stay together until both of our children were out of high school.
That's already a red flag.
Didn't want to worry about visitation hours?
She said she didn't want our children to suffer more than they already had.
Continue? What do you mean by suffer?
Suffer? Pretty strong words there. Does that sound like a fair characterization of what happened?
My son Vernon had some social problems in high school. He was always acting out. Even got into a few fights. Clementine fell in with the wrong crowd and was caught shoplifting a few times. My wife put in everything she had to turn them both around.
Where were you?
That sounds troubling, but I'm not sure how it is your fault.
Let me start from the beginning.
Because he wasn't around, I'm assuming.
I was still a high school teacher back when Vernon was born. It was only a few years before the automation collapsed. Even back then, everyone was worried. Students, parents, teachers. We all knew the system wasn't working, especially the education system. Every day I'd come home, look at my baby Vernon on my wife's lap, and wonder what world he was going to live in once he started going to school himself. That's why I moved up from being a history teacher to a school principal,
You're a
and then
history teacher?
ultimately became president of this university.
You're a history teacher? I love history.
I knew that I owed my children more than just food on the table. The world was changing, and I had to do something to make it a world they could succeed in.
That wasn't your... Why did you feel that way?
Why did you feel that it was your responsibility?
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of teachers in this country. Any one of them could have done what you did. Why did it have to be you?
No one else was stepping up. If it wasn't me, then no one would do it.
Perhaps, but you can't know that for sure. Why do you view this as something that you need to do?
When I was growing up, my father worked very hard to provide for us. Because we were such a big family, and I was the eldest son, a lot of responsibility fell on me.
I feel like he's used to doing all the work by himself then.
I remember always making sure my brother did his homework on time and breaking up fights between my sisters. One day I confronted my father about how much of the parenting I seemed to be doing. I'll never forget what he said to me.
What did he say?
He said, "Harold Sylvan Freeman, everyone needs help, but not everyone gets it. Don't be angry that you were asked to offer your time to others. Be glad that you had something of value to give."
Wow.
At the time, I saw it as deflection, but the older I got, I started to understand what he was talking about. It was a call to be less self-centered. Instead of looking at life's burdens as unfair, I saw them as opportunities to help those who were suffering.
Do you still believe that?
I'm not as confident about it as I used to be.
Why did you lose your confidence?
My wife and my children all understood how important my work was. They never told me to stop, but I could tell that they started resenting me for what I was doing.
Would you have stopped if they asked?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I think the fact they knew it wouldn't be an easy choice for me only made them more upset.
Yeah, because it's like telling him to choose family or work. And when he should be able to have both. Because, you know.
What brought all of this up now?
This ordeal with the AI has left me wondering if everything I've done was actually worthwhile.
You did this for your father? I feel like he did it for his father, not his family.
This all started because of your father. You wanted to live up to his expectations. You see your work as a way to gain his approval. When helping to raise your siblings left you feeling abandoned, you opened up to your father about how you felt. Instead of acknowledging his emotional neglect, he gave you life advice. And you saw that as a new way of earning his love. There was an opportunity to break the dysfunctional relationship you had with your father. Instead, you merely changed the terms of that relationship. That's why you've stuck to this mode of thinking for so long, even as it's driven those you love away from you.
What should I do about the AI, Dr. Park? There has to be some way I can fix this.
Yeah, work with Willow. What? Reflect on what makes you happy and pursue that. Focus on helping those you can. Step back from the university. Reflect on what makes you happy and pursue that.
You need to reflect on what makes you truly happy. If you're happiest with your family, then you need to go to them. If you're happiest with your work, be honest about that too.
What do you think makes me happy, Dr. Park?
I don't fucking know. I can't answer that question for you.
I can't answer that for you, Dr. Freeman. You need to figure that out for yourself.
I don't know you personally either, so I can't tell you.
In that case, I'll need more time.
All right. In the meantime, we have more pressing issues that need to be resolved.
You mean the AI?
The longer we put off resolving Willow's situation, the harder it will be to resolve it at all. It will also prevent you from properly reflecting on your personal issues.
What should we do to resolve the situation with the AI?
Let's do the mind wipe. Apologize to Taylor. Handle this. Help me secure Willow's independence.
I know we've discussed this before, and I know you're opposed to it. That said, I remain as adamant now as I was before. Willow needs to be able to live independently.
You really think that would be the best option?
It's the only way we can have Willow be happy while making the university no longer responsible for them.
I think it's a win-win. And if anything, Tara can be her roommate.
It'll be difficult to set up, but I'll be here to help you. Willow's housing, caretakers, employment, whatever they need, I'll help figure it out.
My stomach's hungry.
I'll have to discuss this with the faculty.
Dr. Freeman, the longer we put this off, the harder it will be for everyone. We need to come to a solution today. So what's it going to be?
When Tara first brought you here, I didn't know if you were going to make things better or worse. I tried to make the most of your input, no matter how much I disagreed with it. But now it seems like I should have just gone with my gut.
Damn.
I can't do what you're asking me to do, Dr. Park. I don't think it's a good idea, and I can't in good conscience go through with it.
I feel like this route is led this way because I wasn't focusing on him too much.
All right then, what's done is done.
Now that we've decided, what happens next?
I plan on continuing the sessions while we make the necessary preparations. As to your personal matters, I can't work as your therapist. It would interfere with my work with Willow. That said, I know therapists who specialize in situations like yours. I can recommend them to you if you'd like.
I'm interested. I'm glad I had this conversation with you. I'd been meaning to do this for a long time.
I'm glad you did. I wish you the best of luck with your future sessions.
I'll see you around, Dr. Park.
Have a good day, Dr. Freeman.
Achievement unlock Atlas.
Are you free now?
Yeah, Heather.
Yes, you can come in.
So, what exactly was all that about? Why were they here?
That's privileged information.
So it wasn't about the AI. That's a relief.
Is there something you want to tell me, Heather?
I'm not going to tell you how to manage your patients. That's not my place. and I know it. But ever since you took on the AI as a patient, it's taken up all of your attention.
Do you want some attention, Heather?
Your other patients are noticing that you've been distracted the past few weeks. Your patient list has dropped off a lot lately.
Oh no.
Have there been complaints?
They're not complaints. But that doesn't mean people aren't frustrated with you.
Oof. Well, alright, we're gonna end it here with this hated discussion. But thank you guys for watching the series so far. I literally do not know where the fuck I am going with this. I literally do not know where this is leading. I can't tell you. Obviously, it sounds like we're going to the bad ending, but there's multiple endings. So there could be multiple bad endings. We just don't know which one I'm gonna get. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.